This is training mission 17 for AV8B Harrier. This is about Mavericks and Sidearms, but this time is during night.
Okay, first thing you need to do is prepare the IR Maverick. In order to do so, you have to switch to air-to-ground master mode. Now on the left NPCD, enter the stores page and press push button 6. Make sure the IR Mav text is boxed. Look at the text displayed above push button 20. A standby tone should be visible. This means that the IR seeker is cooling down, often referred to as warming up despite actually doing the opposite, and its gyro is spinning up. A note of caution, the IR Maverick is operable on the ready mode for 1 hour, and operable for 30 minutes in active mode with the video displayed. Therefore, on longer patrols or when on XCAS, wait to cool down the seeker until you may actually have to use it. Look again at the stores page. In the middle, you should see the following information. Mode set to AGM, fuse set to D1, and quantity and multiples set to 1.
Confirm.
AGM is the only delivery mode available for Mavericks and cannot be changed. The multiple launches are not supported by the avionics and also cannot be altered. However, you are able to select the fusing and quantity. The available fusing options are Safe, In, D1, and D2. In safe mode, the missile will not launch. In stands for instantaneous, D1 is for a medium delay of 14 milliseconds, and D2 is for a long delay of 30 milliseconds between the impact and the explosion. The quantity tells the system how many subsequent missiles will be automatically uncaged and slaved to the target designation after the first missile has been launched. Alright, wait for the cooldown process to end and let me know when you are ready to proceed.
Let's check some things. Oh, it was another update. I have again this usual stuff. So things to check are some procedures. Creating new waypoint. Okay, so I can create a waypoint like that. Okay, anyway, I will not do that.
The next thing you'll need to do is bore sight the missile. It can only be done when the cooldown process is over. The ABST, or Align Mode Bore Sight, aligns the seeker with the missile. In order to perform it, you need to press the ABST push button, PB17, on the MPCD.
This is something that is not really Align Mode Bore Sight. Aligns the seeker with the missile. Well, the seeker is aligned with the missile because it comes from the factory. Like that, I believe. So
while we travel toward waypoint 1, let's cover some of the options that are available for you on the IR Mav NPCD page. Go ahead and press the Uncage button to call up the Maverick video.
Okay.
The ship mode, available under push button 1, changes the missile logic to seaborne targets. What it does is tells the missile to change the offset in order to impact the target at the waterline. When you enter this particular mode, the ship text is boxed, and the opening in the center of the video crosshairs changes. In normal mode, the vertical and horizontal crosshairs are equal. In ship mode, the horizontal opening is twice the size of the vertical. Next option, the field of view, or FOV, is under push button 5. It allows you to switch between the default, wide, and the narrow field of view. You can tell which one is currently active by looking at the screen. In wide, there are brackets visible in the middle of it. In narrow, they disappear. The wide FOV is 8 power magnification and 3 degrees wide. Narrow one is 16 power magnification and 1.5 degrees. The FOV push button is also used to cage the seeker and return it to the slave mode.
Okay.
The push buttons across the top allow you to quickly switch to other weapons carried during the mission. The step option under push button 14 lets you select a different station as a priority one. After you press it, you'll notice the triangle will move from the currently selected station to the next one. Note that this option is not available if you have only one IR Maverick left. The ECM push button, 15, lets you momentarily switch the display to your RWR, electronic countermeasures page.
I don't think this works now.
The commands across the bottom row are either not Maverick specific or have already been covered, so we will skip those in this training.
Okay.
Before we start shooting, let's quickly go over the HUD indications for IR Mav. Press the sensor select switch forward once and press the TDC in any direction. You should now see a square with a dot in the middle of it at the point where the missile is currently looking. It is called the missile field of view. You can slew the missile head using the TDC.
So yeah, I can slew it, but it tried to move somewhere automatically. I don't know why. Anyway, okay.
To the right, you'll have the target ranging information, number of missiles, type of selected missiles, in this case IR Mav, and information whether the currently selected missile is caged or uncaged. The missile is uncaged if the letter U is displayed next to IR Mav. If no letter is shown, it means that the missile is caged. When you are in range of your target, in range will appear on the HUD below target ranging information. Obviously you cannot see it now as you have no target selected. Further below, you will see the range to target in nautical miles. Again, as no target is currently locked, you won't be able to see it. Moreover, you will notice that the small crosshair on the video and the IR Mav text on the HUD are blinking. This means that the launch criteria are not met. Alright, now it is time to cover the use of Maverick coupled with the different sensors. So, DMT in TV or LST mode, INS or independent operation without using any onboard sensors. There is also an additional option to use the missile together with the targeting pod. In this mission, you will shoot one IR Mav in TV, INS, and independent modes, and then one laser-guided Maverick using the JTAC. If you want to practice more, special shorter versions of the training will be available for each of the modes. When ready, turn towards waypoint 2. The targets are marked with red smoke for easier recognition. Okay, let's go together through the steps for IR-guided Mavericks, used in conjunction with the DMT in TV mode. First, push the sensor select switch twice to the aft. The TV video will appear on your right MPCD.
It was necessary just once, but anyway.
Next, make sure you are in the air-to-ground master mode.
We are.
Make sure that the IR Mav is selected as a weapon of choice, and the ready text is visible above push button 20. In other words, the cooldown process has ended. Now maneuver the aircraft so that the TVV points into the direction of target. Use the TDC to slew the TV to your target and release it to acquire lock. Note that if you want to slave the seeker head back to the velocity vector, you can press the undesignate button on your HOTAS at any time. Press the cage uncage button on your HOTAS. This will turn on the Maverick video on your left MPCD. The IR Mav will be slaved to the TV track point.
Okay.
Press the sensor select switch forward once. This will change the sensor to IR Mav.
So now it's in TV mode, and now it's IR Mav. So now I can actually move the sensor.
If you were targeting a seaborne object, you want to press push button 1 and enable the ship mode. For the moment, leave it as it is. Select polarity as desired. You have two options, tracking hot targets on a cold background or cold targets on a hot background. In hot track, the missile crosshairs are white. In cold track, they are black. If you are not actively tracking a target, you can switch between the modes using waypoint increment switch. Next, switch to narrow field of view by pressing push button 5. Keep the wings level and press the TDC. If you are in range, this will cause the IR Maverick to lock on to the nearest target. If you are too far away, you will notice that the seeker goes into correlation track. Crosshairs are tracked to the edge of the MPCD IR map display and remain there until a TDC slew is initiated again. Alright, now wait for the target to come in range. As you are still quite far away, let's quickly cover the next steps. Remember to have the aircraft properly trimmed at all times. The AFC might also come in handy at this stage.
Now we have to wait. I need to adjust the it's a bit too fast. Anyway, let's
Caution.
turn again towards the target. Kind of like this. I think I have some wind. We can also adjust the luminosity of the HUD, so it's not that powerful. Maybe this is also a bit too much, the flood. So I can see the smoke. I'm still 30 miles out, so I need to reaccelerate a bit. So the purpose of this mission is to correct some of the issues I had with the daylight mission. So in the daylight mission I couldn't carry 3 missiles, so now I have 3 IRMV missiles, so infrared Mavericks. Now I have 4. I don't have laser, if I remember correct. Oh no, I do have. Actually, I do have again. So I will test this if it works. And also, in the storage, I actually selected. So it selected the lone Maverick. So we will see if it launches. Also, I will test the INS, because actually the target can be locked with the INS, but not the INS is not functional very well. So you have to aim with your velocity vector on the ground and lock, and that's it. You cannot actually adjust it. Something is not working yet. And finally, the anti-radiation missiles, the sidearms. I will try to use with Cage. He's nothing in the training missions that I should use Cage. So now I know I have to use Cage, so I'll try to do it better. And also I'll do some more tests with the gun. Okay, now I'm starting to see targets. Unfortunately, the luminosity, now it's day, night. That's just a symbology. Okay, we are getting closer. Let's try to lock on the first one. I think this is the no. Oh yeah, this is the first one. There is some more white of the runway. So I start to see lights of the city. That's Batumi, I think. I think I'm still far away.
Alright, keep your wings level and repeatedly depress the TDC till the tank of your choice has been locked.
Okay, locked.
Good, you have it locked. Switch your master arm to on. Verify that in-range information appears on the HUD, and the HUD IR map box as well as pointing cross on the NPCD are not flashing. Press the pickle button to release the missile.
Okay, missile is away. I need to...
Great! Turn back towards waypoint 1 and gain some distance from the target. 15 nautical miles should be enough. Turn your master arm switch to off, undesignate, and cage the Maverick. Also press your sensor select switch once to the left to remove the DMT TV screen from the right NPCD. Finally, switch the plane to nav master mode.
Impact. Okay, let's switch to master mode. I disarmed. Let's go back to the waypoint 1. Towards waypoint 1, and let's activate again. Now let's switch back to waypoint 2, and we have to be 15 miles away. So it actually launched the infrared Maverick, so that problem is solved. We can actually use on one wing laser and on the other on the opposite pylon the infrared, so it works. Okay, let's check again. We are in nav, master arm off. I already okay.
In this part of the training, we will cover using IR Mavericks using the INS designation. Please turn toward waypoint 2, where the targets are located.
Okay.
Caution.
Let's turn, but very slowly. A very wide turn, so we actually gain some distance. There are some instructions that assume you know how to do some intermediary steps. For example, he's saying something about using the the diamond on the HUD, but I think you need to check it also on the map. So
First step is to set the air-to-ground master mode.
okay,
Make sure that the IR MAV is selected as a weapon of choice, and the ready text is visible above push button 20. In other words, the cooldown process has ended. Now use your TDC to slave the TD diamond over the target and release to acquire a lock.
okay. So this is the problem with the. So if I'm looking now at the map, I have no way to use. It's saying that it's not target designation diamond in INS mode is not functional yet. So the only way to do it is just to do this. However,
Press the cage uncage button on your HOTAS. This will turn on the Maverick video on your left MPCD. The IR MAV will be slaved to the target designation diamond position on your HUD.
so I'm too close now. I'm too close. I need to break. Some of the instructions are not really okay. But anyway, so the INS is this thing that it shows I'm guided in by inertial navigation system, and normally I should be able to use the INS and lock on the map or with the HUD to lock a point on the terrain, mark it, and then adjust it with the TDC. So this is the problem, it's not working. So let's make the cockpit dark again. So now I'm running away from the waypoint 2. Okay. Okay, let's uncage. Okay, so it's looking close. That's good.
Press the sensor select switch forward once. This will change the sensor to IR MAV.
So that was all the part of INS. Now basically and I have a lock.
Select ship and polarity options as required.
Come on, you are wasting time.
Look at the Maverick video and confirm that the target is close to the crosshairs. Next, switch to narrow field of view by pressing push button 5. Now wait for the target to come in range.
It is in range.
Alright, keep your wings level and repeatedly depress the DMC until the tank of your choice has been locked. Good, you have a lock. Switch your master arm to on. Verify that in-range information appears on the HUD, and the HUD IR map box as well as pointing cross on the MPCD are not flashing.
This is strange, I have nothing.
Press the pickle button to release the missile.
Okay, it's not selected. Okay, this is the problem. So he's looking but not locking. Oh, because I'm in... damn it. That was a mistake. Okay, let's go out.
If for some reason you are forced to abort, set master arm switch to safe position and press
No, it's
FOV
just too
or
complicated.
undesignate switch to slate the IR map to your velocity vector. Gain some distance from the target, 50 nautical miles should do the trick, and start again.
The problem is you have a lot of switches to press, and during the night it's very easy to get disoriented, and it will just be a mess. So I'm trying to see if I can do a quick now. Okay, I see it's still locked on the target. Now I have master arm on target and it's not in range. That's very strange, that is not in range. It didn't say that it's in range or not.
Great! Turn back towards waypoint 1 and gain some distance from the target. 15 nautical miles should be enough. Turn your master arm switch to off, undesignate, and encage the Maverick. Finally, switch the plane to nav master mode.
Okay, so it struck the tank. I was almost to believe that the missile went into the hills. Okay, so let's turn the master off, uncage, nav mode. Okay, so this was the INS mode, which is like if you don't want to use the TV and you want to use like a waypoint, and you start from the waypoint, or you mark with the HUD, you mark on the terrain while you are in the inertial navigation system targeting mode. So I guess this is how, that's the idea. Okay, now let's switch back to waypoint 2 and AFC activated. It's very strange that during the night the symbology is way dimmer. Now if I turn off completely the floodlight, I think it's tolerable. Even in VR it's tolerable like this. But just to have some more image, it's okay. With some floodlight and day mode. Okay.
In this part, we will cover the use of IR-guided Mavericks without the aid of aircraft sensors. In other words, you'll use the missile video feed for finding and locking up your target. Please turn toward waypoint 2 where the targets are located.
It's done.
First step is to set the air-to-ground master mode.
Okay.
Make sure that the IR Mav is selected as a weapon of choice, and the ready text is visible above push button 20. In other words, the cooldown process has ended. Press the Cage Uncage button on your HOTAS. This will turn on the Maverick video on your left MPCD. The IR Mav will be slaved to your velocity vector.
So the idea, we don't need to use anything TV or anything else. So we just press Uncage and it will just go where the target is. Basically in INS.
Press the sensor select switch forward once. This will change the sensor to IR Mav.
Now is in IR Mav, but because it was the only sensor active, I was able to still
Caution.
adjust it with the TDC.
Select Ship, Polarity, and Field of View options as required. Now maneuver the aircraft and put the TVV at or near your target's location.
So there are a lot of buttons and a lot of switchology. So for example, I have the button 4 that changes the FOV. I have it on my HOTAS, and if I press the button, it switches like I would press the button on the screen. And also this button is actually a HUD, so if I push it forward or backward, then if I would have the TDC, it will zoom in and zoom out.
Caution.
And also in TDC you can do the FOV switch, FOV switch, by using the sensor select left.
Keep your wings level and press the TDC. If you are in range, the missile seeker should lock at or near your target.
Okay, so we have a lock.
As you get closer, keeping the wings level and TVV on the same spot, you may use the TDC to sweeten the solution. And when you are happy with its position, release the TDC switch. Now the missile should be locked on target. Good, you have a lock. Switch your master arm to on. Verify that in-range information appears on the
doesn't say
HUD and the HUD
in-range.
IR map box as well as pointing cross on the MPCD are not flashing. Press the pickle button to release the missile.
So yeah, the missile is away, but I don't have the in range. I have to judge it.
Great! Turn back towards waypoint 1 and gain some distance from the target. 15 nautical miles should be enough. Turn your master arm switch to off, undesignate, and cage the Maverick. Finally, switch the plane to nav master mode.
There is no other Maverick to cage. Let's switch to nav, waypoint 1. Let's turn to waypoint 1. Let's put we are quite low. It looks the same, but we are actually quite low. Let's climb a bit. Let's put again waypoint 2. Okay, let's stabilize here. Let's see.
We will now cover the use of laser-guided Maverick, the AGM-65 Echo. This missile acquires, locks on, and guides to a target using laser energy reflected from a target, being illuminated by a ground or airborne laser designator. In this mission, we will use the help of a JTAC, callsign Playboy, to paint the T-55 with a laser.
I think I also changed the name.
First thing you will need to do is tune to the
JTAC.
frequency of the JTAC, operating on 125.5 AM. Go ahead and do that now.
Or maybe not. Okay, let's try. One, 2, 5, decimal 5.
Good. Now enter an orbit pattern and contact Playboy in order to receive the coordinates of the target. These should match your waypoint 2.
Mantis 1-1. This is Dodge 1-1. Foxtrot Golf 9732 at 8,000. Armed with AGM-65E. Playtime is 0 plus 30. Available for tasking. What do you have for us?
Dodge 1. This is Mantis 1-1. Type 2 in effect. Advised and ready for 9-1.
Ready to copy.
So I think it switched to 144.
1, 2, 3, NA, 35 feet, MSL, tank, Golf 3, 2,
It has like a easy radio or something, this mission.
marked by laser, 1688, east, 600 meters, troops in contact, egress east. Advised and ready for remarks and further talk on.
So what I think, I changed to 144 in the mission editor because 125.5 is the default and it's not always working. And I think I forgot to actually add it to the channel, to the preset. I used, seeing that there is no preset on 144, I used the 125.5 manually. But when I talk with him,
Ready to copy
he's
remarks.
switching to 144. Now it's 14400. It has auto tuning or something.
Wind 069 at 2 meters per second. Fog. Visibility 2.
Golf 322733618.
Read that correct. Report IP inbound.
You will notice that JTAC is using the following laser code, 1688. We need to set up the same code for the Maverick. First, make sure you are in air-to-ground master mode and enter your stores page on the left MPCD. Now select your laser-guided Maverick by pressing push button 7. You will see the LMAV page with your currently set laser code at the top and a small cross below it. Press push button 5 now to enter the correct laser code. Your current code will appear on the UFC. If it hasn't been used before, it will default to 1111. Use the scratch pad to enter the code provided by Playboy, 1688, and press enter. Good. You'll notice that the code on the left MPCD has changed. Break your orbit and turn towards your target. Once you're established on course, contact Playboy and report IP inbound.
Dodge 1. IP inbound.
I think I'm in the clouds.
1. Continue.
Now request that the JTAC fires the laser.
Dodge 1. Laser on.
Laser on. Blazing.
Time to prepare your missile. Press Uncage button on your HOTAS. You will notice that the small cross will start moving across the screen and your HUD. You should also note a changed symbology on the MPCD, which now looks like a targeting reticle. Once the missile finds the reflected laser spot that corresponds to the code you have just set, it will lock onto it. The cross will stop moving and will turn to a solid square.
Come on. I also have the goggles. Okay. Let's say
Dodge
spot.
1. Spot.
Now maneuver your jets so the lock-on cue is within the targeting reticle.
Okay, so now I need to maneuver so the small dot is in the center.
Switch your master arm to on. Press the piggle button to release the missile.
Dodge 1. In from the southwest.
Dodge 1. Cleared hot.
Okay, now the missile should go.
Great! Turn back towards waypoint 1 and gain some distance from the target. 15 nautical miles should be enough. Turn your master arm switch to off, undesignate, and encage the Maverick. Also press your sensor select switch once to the left to remove the DMT TV screen from the right MPCD. Finally, switch the plane to nav master mode.
So I don't think this is probably some old audio. You cannot
Dodge
boom.
1. Target destroyed. Dodge 1. No further tasking available. Nice work. You may depart.
Okay. To waypoint 1. Towards waypoint 1. Now let's activate the autopilot. Harrier again, pretty low, but this time it's not really necessary, so okay. Let's check our trim. The trim is fine because we don't have any more oh. So this is a bit funny. So it's still in laser track mode. Let's see how much we have. It doesn't really matter because now we will use the gun switch to select the sidearm. Okay, let's see.
In this part, we will use the AGM-122 Alpha sidearm missile to engage enemy active radars. As described earlier, the sidearm is a sidewinder, but modified to lock onto threat radar emissions. Given its short range and small warhead, its primary use is a deterrent to enemy surface-to-air weapons operators, and is a self-defense weapon against pop-up threats. First step is to set the air-to-ground master mode.
Okay, air to ground. Oh, that's why I couldn't select the stores, because I was in the nav. Okay.
Now enter the
that's
source
my bad.
page. Sidearm missiles are marked as SA on stations 1 and 7. In order to select them, you need to press push button 10, which currently says gun, twice. If no gun pod was installed, SA would have been visible there by default.
So gun.
You should notice two things. You will hear a tone in your headset, similar to the one you hear when using your Sidewinder. You'll also see a targeting reticle on your HUD above the velocity vector.
Yeah, this thing has to be uncaged.
Turn towards waypoint 2. On your RWR, you should see two indications. One is an SA-11 Gadfly search radar. The other one is an SA-8 Gecko. All you need to do is fly towards their location and wait for the sidearm seeker to lock on to the strongest of the two signals. Remember that you don't have any control over choosing which target to lock. Once the seeker locks onto the signal, you will hear the tone change to a higher pitched version, and the targeting reticle moves over the location of the radar.
Okay, now I need to uncage. So now it's full and it's uncaged, so it will lock by automatically. The problem is he's not saying. I should. Now I have, and it jumped. But we are 10 miles away. Okay, it's locked.
Switch your master arm to on. Pull the trigger to release the missile.
Yeah, we will wait some more because the distance is way too big. Let's turn a bit more towards the target. I don't know, if 5 miles should be fine. So let's launch. Okay. Target is destroyed. I don't know if you noticed, Mr. Instructor. I don't know. Maybe the second missile, something is wrong, or the fact that I was in... no, the missile is caged again. It doesn't matter actually, so I will just fire again. I don't know. Maybe I'm too close. Let's go a bit away. Maybe I'm too close for the trigger of the mission. This is a bit bad. The mission is so sensitive to things like this. These are arbitrary things that can happen in a mission. Like you're too close, you're coming from outside the perimeter. He's expecting, I don't know, I think there is like a trigger with the range, and maybe I need to pull the trigger in some distance. I don't know. Let's try again. Let's try from this distance.
After firing, it's a good habit to change your course to avoid or egress the threat weapon engagement zone and release some chaff to complicate enemy targeting. Once the first target is destroyed, repeat the whole process and engage the second one.
Yeah, that was the second one.
This concludes the training mission.
Okay, let's go now to home plate. Let's select navigation mode, master arm off. Waypoint 0. So that okay, that radar was not destroyed actually. That's funny. So waiting to air to ground. I'm sure it was like a mode to have this. Let's turn clear. But I can't remember exactly how you can change the temperature for we are in air to ground, stores, gun. But it's not working, so no, it's working. The thing is, I forgot how to make the clear camera appearing on the HUD. This is really strange. Again, the gun is not working. It's actually making some like sort of a marker. I can't really understand how is this working. Now again I see. Now it's firing. That's so crazy. around here. Again, he's not firing for some crazy reason. If I pull up a bit, still not firing. Still not firing. Now it's firing. I really don't understand the limitations. So it's like I need to be on target for some while. I really can't remember. I'll look into it. Try again to stabilize more the plane. Maybe that's the idea. This will be the last pass. If it's not working, it's not working. No worries. So I can adjust the not working. There has to be some limitations. Because okay, there are some limitations with the gun, or the missions have some bugs. One of them. Okay, let's master our move. Navigation 8.0. I don't understand. The airport is here. I don't know why is the waypoint 0 way too far. So okay, let's land here. Doesn't matter. Let's land directly. You're coming out. Actually, we can be more professional a bit. Let's put the nozzle back.
Landing, gear. Caution, caution.
Also, the waypoint 0 is actually on water. I don't know why I see it so badly.
Caution, caution.
Okay, this is something is wrong. Now is active. Okay, so I can't remember exactly Kobuletis. So tower is on. This is Takan. Tower is 133 or 262. So first Takan is 67, enter, and it's on. We can turn the on 64 like this, and we can contact 133. Do we have a, oh, we have a 133.
Capoletti, Dodge 1, inbound.
Caution.
This will be a night landing. Let's I hope they will turn on the lights. I see nothing. So dark now. I see the lights. Okay, gear out.
Capoletti, Dodge 1, request landing.
Okay, let's put the flaps. Okay, we are now in radar. It's slow. And off center, but it's not really that bad with this plane. They are not that heavy, but still. Let's turn on the water just in case. bit. So now we descend. We have a bit of altitude, so we will land long. We will not land where the velocity vector is now. It will be
Altitude, altitude.
not good to land like this, but because we need to descend, we will leave it like this for now. So now let's reduce the $200. That's okay. Okay, so that was the night version. Let's put the flaps up. Let's park here.
Caution, caution. Caution.
Okay, parking brake set. Turn off lights.
Caution, caution. Limiter off, limiter off. Fuel control, fuel control. Generator, generator. Limiter off, limiter off. Caution, caution. Fuel.
Well, it's fine. Et voilà.